Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. This has been one of the fastest hours we've done. So how can an average student go from selling 1-cent lemonade to developing and selling million-dollar commercial real estate deals? Our next guest will tell us exactly how she managed to do that. Pam Goodwin from Goodwin Commercial is with us in the studio. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, it is possible. An average student like myself, I hate to admit it, getting C's in school, that you can actually go out and launch your own commercial real estate business that I've had now for 10 years and, be able to develop and invest in commercial real estate. I figure if I can do it, I want to help others be able to buy their own real estate.
Well, I love the titles of your book. Your first book was 1-Cent Lemonade to Million Dollar Deals, 25 Jobs and 25 Lessons I Wish I'd Learned Sooner. Great title. And your latest book, Winning Ways in Commercial Real Estate, that you co-authored with 17 fabulously successful women in real estate all over the world. Congratulations on your success.
Well, thank you.
So what is the secret? Because I know a lot of people, they're focused on investing in the stock market, or they only see investment in one dimension, and it looks like you've been very successful in commercial real estate, and you say, "Come on in, the water's fine."
That's right. A lot of people always think that they should, invest in residential real estate. They may buy a single-family home, and I don't think people really realize that commercial real estate. There's some great opportunities out there that you don't really need a lot of money to get started. Most of my properties I buy, you can buy with no money down, and love to teach people how to do that.
Well, so what for the person who's listening right now who's saying, no, that's kind of Donald Trump stuff, and I could never do that. You're saying that it's easily learned?
Well, I've been doing it now for more than 25 years. And, I have learned the secrets, the ruts and guts of commercial real estate and failures in it too. But, it's pretty easy. I always say people drive by opportunities every single day. Every piece of real estate, either land that you can develop or an empty building you drive by, you're thinking, even in your own communities, you're thinking, gosh, I wish I had a Starbucks or a Chick-fil-A or a Walgreens.
Right.
And being able to, look at those opportunities.
I bet you can't drive anywhere in DFW without thinking, I wonder.
I know. I'm always constantly, I need to have a sign on the back of my car, real estate, be aware, be aware student driver, just
right?
Because I'm always having to pull over. I just see opportunities everywhere.
Well, they always say location, 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 but we all know of locations that seemed good. They were major intersections, and then for whatever reason, the business went out of business. As you look at that, was it a location issue or the way they were running the business?
I think it's a combination, and, Goodwin Commercial also specializes in finding locations for restaurants, and a lot of it comes down to operation of the restaurants. And some of the national restaurants that will try to come into the Dallas market may not make it. And I think it's just because here in Dallas, we are pretty particular about, our food choices. So it usually comes down to, I think, operation and food. And if people don't like it, they will not be returning to that restaurant concept.
So let's talk about restaurants. It seems to be a theme on this show anyway. Is it smart, if you're a restaurateur, do you want to be next to another restaurant so you either get their overflow or it becomes a destination that people are driving to? I'm thinking about like the Shops at Legacy. There's a dozen restaurants up there, and if one has a long line, you just go across the street. What are your thoughts about should a restaurant owner locate next to another restaurant or stay far away?
Well, a lot of the restaurant companies do like to be next to other restaurants just because of that reason. One of our recent clients, Rock and Brews, which will be opening up by Nebraska Furniture Mart here in March. The founders are Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley from KISS. So when we were finding one of their first locations here in Texas, they wanted to be by other activity, that they look for in other restaurants in that location. They just, You just need people, seats, butts in seats is the common phrase in the restaurant business. So you want to have a lot of people.
That's awesome. My guest right now, Pam Goodwin. She is with Goodwin Commercial, and she is a real estate guru here in North Texas. Let's talk a little bit about mistakes, because in any kind of real estate deal, you can make some common blunders. What would be like the top one or two blunders that people make when investing in commercial real estate?
Well, not especially in land development. And having, you have to do a thorough due diligence. I was able to get great experience while I worked at Brinker International, working and developing more than 50 chilies and on the border. And at that time, really learned a lot of the mistakes. But, from you think you might be buying a piece of property for $300,000, but you find out the utilities are underneath 6 lanes of, highway. And you really have to do your due diligence up front to make sure you're buying the right investment.
What about timing the market? Because there's been a lot of talk lately here in this country about what's happening in China and the ripple effect. I mean, do you feel like we're going into a recession? Is this a good time to buy, or should you wait a year and try to get it cheaper?
Well, I probably should listen to more of that, but I don't, because I just feel like if I did, I would just get completely stuck. And so I always think, right now it's definitely a seller's market when development slowed down in 2008 and 2009, but it's definitely, you can see all of the cranes picking back up here in Dallas and how busy the activity is. But I think there are still a lot of really good hidden opportunities that we love to find from, a parking lot in front of Home Depot,
right?
Carving out some of those spaces, finding those hidden opportunities, to vacant buildings. And most of them aren't listed or posted or on LoopNet. You have to go find those opportunities, or talk to friends and family about selling property also.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on the $5 billion mile and what's happening north of 121 and the tollway. For those who haven't been up there, there's something like 7, 8, 9 cranes building the Cowboys practice facility and everything that goes along with it. I heard one person say that we're about to see a completely different, almost metro area, that you would have Dallas, Fort Worth, and Frisco, and it becomes a live, work, play. People who live in Frisco never come to Dallas. What are your thoughts?
Frisco continues to boom, and that 1 mile of $5 billion worth of new development is just is you can't imagine that we need more restaurants and more shops. But when you live in Dallas and no mountains and no ocean to go to, we definitely need to be entertained. But Frisco is still booming. In that property, there were a lot of foreign investors from Dubai and buying up that property. It was, sat there for so long, and now it's the hottest area, especially with the new Dallas Cowboy facility, about to open. And
just down the street, Nebraska Furniture Mart, wildly successful so far as everything I can tell. As you were advising your client on tell me the name of it again. It's Gene Simmons' business.
It's Rock and Brews. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and I used to work at Nebraska Furniture Mart during college.
Too cool.
And so I really knew the impact and how, the business Nebraska Furniture Mart could, how popular it is and how many, millions of dollars they plan on doing. And people come from all over to shop at Nebraska Furniture Mart. So when I proposed it to Rock and Brews, they immediately decided to, go in that location.
That's awesome. Well, Pam, unfortunately, we're out of time for this segment, but how do people get a hold of you? How do they get your books?
Please, call me at 214-929-9013 or check us out on our website at goodwincommercial.com, and also connect with me on LinkedIn. Love to connect with you on LinkedIn. And you can buy our books on Amazon.com and also Barnes & Noble website.
Pam Goodwin, thank you so much for coming in on a Saturday. I sure appreciate you.
Thank you, Jeff.
When we come back, Mosquito Steve and why he has the whole media world buzzing. That's next on The Jeff Crilley Show.
More of The Jeff Crilley Show coming up.